30s, less had indicated that they would vote. So, a big jump, basically.
Yeah, the 20s and 30s definitely counts, as the figures show there.
And the most hotly contested area, the battlegrounds, are the metropolitan area.
You're absolutely right. This whole metropolitan area, how the capital city will vote, of course, is very much important. And especially with the dropping out of independent candidate Ahn Cheol-soo, the number of swing voters in the region did surge. And you saw Park Geun-hye and Moon Jae-in fighting tooth and nail to the last minute to woo those voters who are undecided. So, if history is any guide, the candidate who has the lead in the final pre-election polls is likely to claim victory in the end. But as you saw in the figures earlier, it's just too close to call.
Well, all those supporters of the other guy or the other person who might not be leading at the end of the polls will obviously, that might motivate everyone to move out there and then get their votes in also. So it can work both ways.
We'll have the figures for you tomorrow.
Right. Well, thank you, Eunice, for that.
Absolutely.
Well, the polls have opened at 6 a.m. this morning, and it will close at 6 p.m. Let me just walk you through the voting process here in Korea. So you go to the polls, but before you do that, you have to check your polling stations, and you can do that at the webpage of the National Election Commission.
There's
or
also
the voting package that you must have received several days ago. And so you do take your ID with you, and your ID card or your driver's license or your passport, and your student ID also works, and do that. And you check your name on the voting roster and take your ballot and go to the voting booth and think long and hard about who you want to vote for.
Do we have to think long and hard?
Of course you do.
Think long and very hard.
All right. Don't spin your pencil and leave it to chance.
Who to call president for the next 5 years. And now, speaking of voting booths, we're now going to go to voting booths, 2 of the 13,500 voting booths that are out there. So we're now going to go to the one in Gangnam first. Gangnam is, of course, the more affluent part of Seoul. And as Song Ji-sun mentioned earlier, more conservative votes are expected to come out from there. And some of the things that you should not do at these voting booths.
Social networking, that has become a very, very big factor in promoting voting as well as promoting other things, right? But there's some things that you shouldn't do. The social networking can and cannot. You can post messages encouraging people to vote without expressing support or opposition to any certain candidate. You can also post photographs that shows that you voted in front of certain areas, but not in official polling booths. You cannot post pictures of ballots. You cannot post pictures taken in front of posters or candidates of any kind. And no gestures. You can't have like a V or anything like that to signify that you voted for a certain
candidate. We're now looking at the
candidate.
voting booths in Jongno. Jongno is, of course, one of the oldest districts in Seoul. And this is has the affluent neighborhoods around the Cheongwade area, and also, of course, the low-income ones near the Dongdaemun area. So this is it's a mixed zone, basically.
Right, and it's often referred to as the heart of politics in the capital, Seoul.
That's right.
Okay, those are the polling booths right there, and that's where you would go in to rock your vote.
So it looks like people are coming in to rock the votes.
Yep, that's right.
An hour and a half into voting, yes.
7:37 a.m. and you can see all the action happening right there. But speaking of the ballot boxes, I do understand that the Korean voting system, they actually changed things around, and for the first time it's going to be made of a different material, or it has been made into a different material.
Right. I mean, I hear that it's going to be new plastic ballot boxes with a electronic chip inside, so the officials can actually track back and check the authenticity of the ballot boxes. But let's get a look at how the history of those ballot boxes changed over the past years.
Korea's electoral system has undergone a number of changes over recent decades, particularly in terms of voting methods.
Koreans directly elected their president from the second presidential election. Later, the system was put on hold with the military coup and the rise of the military junta. An indirect election system had been put in place for a while until the 1987 democratization movement, when direct election was revived.
Ballot boxes have received its fair share of makeovers, from a wooden box to 1963's metal box to 1991's double-locked aluminum box. The first general elections in 1995 featured low-cost ballot boxes made of corrugated cardboard. But some raised concerns that ballot papers may get wet from rain or snow. Then came the latest plastic ballot box. Voting stamps have evolved as well. Up until the 1970s, bamboo and empty shells were commonly used. Circle-shaped stamps were changed to include the Hanja character depicting a person in the middle. However, folding ballot papers often caused ink smudging on the other side. Also, some voiced concerns that the character reminded voters of a certain candidate whose name contained a similar-looking letter. Since 1994, the character, which stands for fortune-telling, appeared inside the circular shape. With the use of a ballot counter since 2002, a ballot paper with smudges is held void and rejected. Why an automated vote counting system?
Once the voting ends at 6 p.m., results are added up. Counting election votes overnight may cause the problem of fatigue and inaccuracy. That's why we introduced the mechanical ballot counter.
Well, this is some interesting stories about the history of voting here in Korea, and this is a tight race, and the results won't be out until late tonight, I suppose.
I think the National Election Commission says we will get a rough idea at around 11 p.m. Wednesday night, Korea time. Compare this to past elections. In 2007, we knew at around 8:30 p.m., but in 2002, we found out at about 10:30 p.m. So because it is going to be, they're expecting it to be a close neck-and-neck race. The results won't be out until later than that, is what the officials are predicting.
That's right. If it's a landslide, we'll find out early, but if it's a neck-and-neck, we'll find out later.
But for sure, we're going to be back with the results tomorrow, right? At this time, Korea Today.
That's right. Tell us what you think about that segment that you just saw. You can always tweet us at Korea Today Live and give us a follow. Visit our webpage at koreatodaylive.com. And now it is time for Steve Hatherley. Welcome to the couch, number one. And the Korean presidential election. Well, I just wanted to say hello.
Hello to you. Thank you.
All right. Now, the Korean presidential elections will see the birth of a new leader who will lead Korea for the next 5 years. This is huge.
That's right. There are many different roles, different leadership roles in our society. We do want to take a moment to look at some different leadership roles in our society to gain a perspective on just what makes a good leader. Sometimes the whole world can change in the hands of one person, a true leader. But not everyone has what it takes to lead. So we wonder, what are the qualities that make a successful leader? School is the first place where students experience society. Class presidents and student body presidents all have their own duties. In school, students choose their own leaders who will represent their needs and wants. The student body president at this school must handle frequent conflicts between other students, but she also feels a sense of accomplishment as a student representative.
It was amazing because I could really feel that the students were at the heart of the school. You can only understand that if you're part of the student council. I think that feeling is what inspired me to run for student body president.
The student body president is an important bridge between students and teachers when discussing school events and regulations.
Most other students would use the time to study or to pursue a hobby, but the student body president must have a spirit of service and consideration for the school and its students.
You need a responsibility to gain the trust of those you represent. I think that responsibility is the most important quality in a leader. And it's also important to communicate. Sometimes there will be internal conflict, and it's the student body president's job to mediate.
Leaders can be found everywhere, and in apartment buildings, leaders represent the various people who live together in one space. The Residents Association is responsible for the everyday life of hundreds and sometimes thousands of families.
I thought that the first factor in running the resident association was transparency. That's how I earned trust. My goal was to create a neighborhood community where everyone knew each other and befriended each other rather than be strangers.
It is especially hard to create consensus in a residents association because there are so many different kinds of people living together. This apartment community, composed of both homeowners and leased tenants, require the newly elected president to encourage friendship among its members as well as mediate their interests.
There aren't many people who are willing to step up. Our association's president is able to convince the residents to give her responsibility and to convince us to participate as well. She has leadership skills.
The best way to earn trust as a leader is to guarantee transparency and to take personal responsibility. That's how you will maintain the most integrity and gain the most trust.
A leader's role and importance is particularly notable in sports. Uribank Hanse, the women's basketball team who is currently ranked first in the country, is a Cinderella story, climbing up from the last place last season. The only change between the two seasons is their coach, and his leadership strategy is drawing attention. Until last year, he was the coach of Shinhan Bank S-Birds, who won a total of 6 consecutive wins, but decided to make the switch for a new challenge. For the team's low morale, the priority was not practice, but motivation. For the first time in the Women's Korean Basketball League history, a bottom-ranking team made it to the top. What was the secret?
It was hard because we had to practice so much more, but we could bear it because we had faith.
I thought that the most important thing as a leader was to show the team how to overcome obstacles and lead them forward. I'm still figuring out how to do that and trying to combine what I can do with what my players can do.
Leaders can change the future of any organization. This group, which performed at Carnegie Hall in the U.S., knows that better than anyone. This is the world's only orchestra for the visually impaired. The 20 orchestra members come together to create beautiful harmonies under Lee Sang-jae, who is also visually impaired. He has been conducting here for the past 6 years.
We are an organization that can give people a sense of challenge and emotion. The orchestra is only made possible because of personal sacrifices.
In an orchestra where communication is the most important factor, visual impairment actually became an advantage for Lee Sang-jae. What kind of leadership enabled him to bring together people with and without an impairment into an orchestra?
It's not easy to bring them together. I think the key so far has been to avoid trying to rule them, to command and to scream at them. Rather, I talk with them and we trust each other, and that's what's kept the orchestra alive.
So being open, communicative, being responsible, and being harmonizing is one of the some of the qualities that we want in our president as well.
And we could be looking at a future president there, and that student body president, that young female student there.
Very bright student.
She seemed to have some great leadership qualities already.
Yeah, and you know, one of the leaders in the video did say that sacrifice is one of the key values that he thinks that is one of the good qualities of being a good leader. So I think that means a lot too.
Yeah, it takes a lot of responsibility, just like you said, self-sacrifice and much more to be a leader. And that's a very difficult position to be in, and one that I don't want to be in.
Are you sure?
We won't see your name on the ballot in the future, is what you're saying?
Never, never.
Good, we're happy about that.
Okay, well, speaking of ballots, I think we're going to find out a bit more about what's happening at the polling stations. We'll go to Song Ji-sun, who's in Gangnam.
Hi guys, I've been here for about an hour and I can see a lot of people coming in and out, including young and old, for like all the generations. And now I'm going to actually talk to one of the voters who actually voted and how she feels about it. Let's meet a lady who has just voted here at Gangnam in Joko Station. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 지금 방금 투표하고 나오셨는데
네.
어떠세요, 기분이?
국민의 마음과 생각을 표현하는 것이기 때문에 꼭 투표에 참여해야 된다고 생각해요. 우리의 권리이기도 하잖아요.
She said that it's a national's right to actually vote, to express their opinions and actually express what they feel about the politics. And 그럼 이번 투표에는 어떤 기준으로 이렇게 후보를 정하셨는지?
네, 국민들의 실생활을 잘 읽고 공약에 기준하지 않고 실천을 중시하는 대통령을 마음에 두고 뽑았습니다.
네. Well, she said she also took into consideration of the policies and the pledges, but more of a candidate who's actually going to take care of the actual general public and the households. And now I'm actually going to vote myself here in the voting hall and the booth. As you can see, there are a lot of people lining up to actually vote this morning. And you need an actually a legal license, an ID, or your registration card, and you have to name yourself in the first state. 송지선이요. 1463번. 네. And your polling booth is actually designated before you come to here. And you have to sign it. 네. And now I'm going to actually get the ballot to actually vote. 네. 방금 확인했고요. 네. 네. 감사합니다. And you get 2 ballots for the president and the educational chief. And and if you have not made your way to the voting polls, please do so within today until 6 p.m. Back to you guys.
Nice. She kills 2 birds with 1 stone, does a report, and also rocks her vote.
And one of our reporters exercising her rights, so that's good. Now, this time we're going to go to Lee Kani, who is in Jongno. Kani.
Hey guys, yes, I'm coming to you live from a polling station here in Jongno District, also known as the heart of politics here in Korea. Now it's a little before 8 a.m. and we are seeing a lot more voters come in and cast their ballots. Now it's been 2 hours since polling stations all around Korea has opened, and for those of you who haven't made it out yet, you still have some time. Now a few reminders for those coming out to polling stations. Please bring your IDs, and remember that you are not allowed to use social networking services while inside. You are not allowed to take pictures of the ballot or yourself, and you could face fines if you are caught. Now, here in Korea, the election system uses the simple plurality system. Now, this means that the winner takes it all, so the candidate with the most number of votes wins. And now, the polling stations here in Korea will close at 6 p.m. So if you haven't made it out yet, you have some time now. And once the polling stations close, the election results could come out as early as 11 tonight or at midnight. So by the end of the day, we could know who the next president of Korea will be. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Connie.
And the reason why Ji-sun said that she was also going to vote for the educational chief is because regional elections are also going on apart from the presidential election. So Seoul will choose its education chief and South Gyeongsang province will choose its governor as well today.
Well, that was our special coverage on the 18th presidential election that's currently underway here in Korea. And that does it for us on this election day. And we'll be back with the results.
And very exciting day, of course. You can always visit our website at koreatodaylive.com for more information about our program, or you can leave us comments by tweeting us at Korea Today Live.
Join us again tomorrow. Thank you for watching.
Have a great day.
Next.
가장 중요한 건 정성이 담긴 손길이야. 예술 작품을 대하듯 소중하고 신중하다. 자, 이제 전설의 칼을 너에게 주노라.
This is your story. Visit Korea.
I can't have a soul, and no one can ever know. Not just the thought of you could turn me upside down. I don't know the hows or whys of what I'm feeling, and every time I see you, I'm not sure if I am dreaming. 'Cause all I know is every time I breathe, it hurts.
올림픽 대회를
Tune into Arirang Radio on a new platform in 2012. We will always listen to what you have to say. We will deliver happiness with heartwarming voices. Starting in 2012, scan channels on terrestrial DMB to find Arirang Radio. Arirang Radio.
Asia's heartbeat. Arirang.
A place we love and need to protect. A treasure island for all 7 billion of us. Jeju, one of new 7 wonders of nature.
Where's the best place for bibimbap?
Les Jeux Olympiques d'hiver se dérouleront-ils à Pyeongchang?
هل أنتم حقا سابع أكبر مصدر في العالم؟
この歌手は誰ですか？你好，最近哪部电视剧的人气最旺？
Korea is attracting interest from around the world. The more you know, the more you want to know. Dynamic Korea.
On today's Showbiz Korea, we will take you to the press conference of the movie Cloud Atlas, which is actress Peduna's Hollywood debut production. And check out the best couple outfits of star couples at the airports and their honeymoon locations. We will also answer a question sent in by our viewers, so don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you with us once again here today. We have many updates coming your way. This is Showbiz Korea.
And we have a few more days left till 2012 is over, and you are going to be with us.
That's right. The end of the year is always exciting, but January is also filled with many events, especially this huge concert coming up by singer Poa. She will be here in Korea for the first time on stage after 13 years.
The concert titled Poa Special Live 2013 Here I Am will be held at Olympic Hall on January 26th. Now, we all know that Poa debuted back in 2000, but this is her first time to hold the first solo concert
in Korea.
So
people are very, very excited, looking forward to this big event. Now, she is not new to large-scale concerts. She held many, many big events over there in Japan. So I guess this one is going to be a very special and meaningful event for the Korean fans.
So in this concert, she will perform her latest hit song, Only One, that was released last July. And of course, she is going to show off her awesome dancing skills and awesome live singing skills. A lot to look forward to.
A very talented artist. We'll keep an eye on Poa, especially on her concert date next month here in Korea. All right, everyone, stay with us. Here we go. Let's open the doors of Showbiz Korea.
Singer Kim Jong-hoon shocked everyone with news about his tentative resignation. National singer Kim Jong-hoon, the Dokdo Protector, held a press conference for the release of his 10th album and his adieu performance at the Dokdo Museum in Seoul.
이번에 가장 주력을 둔 것은 공연장 전체에 3만 개 정도의 구멍을 뚫어놓고 그 사이로 빛이 뚫어져 나오는 광경인데 아마 제가 생각할 때는 세계 최초이며 가장 장관이 아닐까. 뭐 머리 아무리 그렇게 굴리셔도 절대 상상 못해요.
Kim Jong-hoon had suffered from panic disorder, but he still paid special attention for 2 years on his 10th full album and the title song Someday.
아듀인 만큼 내용도 내용이지만 따뜻한 공연하고 가고 싶었고요. 크리스마스 때 즐겁고 싶잖아요. 진하게 한번 울 겁니다, 진짜.
Kim Jong-hoon is prepared to depart in April for his overseas concerts, and his eyes turned red when he talked about his tentative resignation.
4월 6일 날 마이크를 내려놓겠습니다. 내려놓고 태극기를 받고 제가 떠나겠습니다. 딱 4개월 남았는데 하루하루 죽으라고 살겠습니다.
His last concert in Korea will be held at the end of the year, and he will end all his domestic activities on April 6th the next year. Then he'll concentrate on his overseas performances in China, the US, and other locations. We wish him all the best and hope he completes his overseas activities successfully.
A lot of interest from movie lovers has been shown in the movie The Tower, starring Seo Kyung-gu, Son Ye-jin, Kim Sang-kyung, and others, and we met them at the showcase. Son Ye-jin's beautiful features stood out amongst the actors.
예진이만 이때 이뻐했던 예진이한테만 친절했던 감독님이었습니다. 촬영하다가도 예진이가 닭백숙 먹고 싶어요 그러면 접어요. 와, 그 정도로 그리고 먹고 와서 찍어요. 야.
The stars expressed their disappointment as Son Ye-jin received all the love from the director. She wowed everyone by wearing a uniquely designed black miniskirt.
안녕하세요, 손예진입니다. 와.
아, 우리 감독님.
우리 팬분들도 있죠.
팬분들 다시 한번.
없나봐요.
감사.
She melted the hearts of all the male fans at the showcase with her cute greeting. She made everyone laugh with their honest thoughts about Seo Kyung-gu and Kim Sang-kyung.
근데 뭐 누가 더 좋으냐고요? 좋은 점이 다른 것 같아요. 그러니까 상경 선배님은 진짜 되게 수다스럽고
네.
재밌고 되게 자상하고 이렇게 약간 그런 느낌의 어떤 느낌이고 경구 선배님은 되게 남자, 상남자.
상남자. 요즘 유행하는 말로.
상남자. 그래서
예.
근데 좀 약간 마음이 좀 이렇게 마음으로 되게 이렇게 위하는 그 상경 선배님 말로 위하는.
Soon she was asked who she will save first if the same situation like the movie occurred. The movie The Tower is about a fire that takes place in a 108-story high-rise building and the people who are trapped in it. It will soon be released and we hope it receives a lot of love.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having fun. We just took you to the showcase of the movie Tower, starring Seo Kyung-gu and Son Ye-jin. And I think many people are going to be looking forward to their roles in this disaster-like movie.
And it looked like Seo Kyung-gu was a bit pouty because the director only likes Son Ye-jin a little bit too much. But there's only one solution to that. Seo Kyung-gu can go ahead and work with a female director.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the director of the movie Tower really fell in love with actress Son Ye-jin, attracted by her qualities. We'll have to check out the movie. Actually, it's about the story of a huge fire in a high-rise building and people getting caught in the building.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about movies.
Okay.
Today we're going to take you to the premiere of the new movie Cloud Atlas. It's in the spotlight as it's actress Peduna's Hollywood debut production. Here we go.
Hello to all the Showbiz Korea viewers.
네, 안녕하세요. 저희는 클라우드 아틀라스 팀입니다.
There's more than a handful of copies in all of North America.
The movie Cloud Atlas is Peduna's Hollywood debut production, and it transcends over 500 years from the 19th century to the near future, and it has 6 different stories.
The waitresses all had the same face.
It is directed by Lana and Andy Warshawski and Tom Tykwer, and is in the spotlight all over the world even before its release. The press conference for the movie Cloud Atlas took place at a hotel in Seoul's Gwangjang-dong. The venue was brimming with press members who came to see the internationally acclaimed directors.
사실은 좀 겁을 먹었었던 게 이제 한국에서 혹시 저 혼자 홍보하게 될까봐 외롭게. 근데 이렇게 와주셔서 바쁜 일정 중에도 와주시고 그래서 너무 기쁘고요.
Yeah, I was desperate to come onto this part of the press tour so I could come to Korea and see Seoul for myself, having played a Korean man for 4 months, or somewhat Korean man for 4 months in the future. I was really excited to come here. And also I've played host to Duna, who's been spending some time in London, so it's nice to be shown around the city by Duna too.
We fell in love with each other, and
decided that directors who become close friends, which happened to us, will not be able to have a fruitful friendship if they don't ultimately decide to work together, because that's what directors do. They work and they create their own bubbles, and they're kind of stuck in those bubbles. So life wasn't offering many chances to spend time together, so we ended up saying, okay, let's work together. And so how we ultimately ended up making this film was, of course, very much influenced by the fact that we discovered the novel, that we all found Cloud Atlas as a book, and that book offered so much for the three of us that it ultimately probably wouldn't have been able to be made without the threesome that we are.
Peduna plays 3 different roles: a cloned human being named Sunmi451, a Mexican woman named Tilda, and many more. She plays an important role in this production and showed her fluent English-speaking skills and made herself known by acting alongside Hugo Weaving.
그게 이제 아무래도 1인 다역을 하다 보면은 근데 사실 연기하는 것도 쉽진 않았지만 여러 가지 역할을 한 영화에서 표현해야 되는 거니까 이 마치 이렇게 6가지 영화를 한 번에 찍는 것 같은 느낌이 있잖아요. 일단은 제 영어가 이 영화에 캐스팅 딱 됐을 때 정말 정말 그 조금밖에 못했어요. 그러니까는 알아듣기는 알아듣지만 그러니까 내가 내 말을 내 의견을 표현하기 쉽지 않았고 그리고 또 굉장히 중요한 역할인데 소미 451은 중요한 역할인데 그 정말 미세한 감정 연기를 대사로 표현하기가 부담이 정말 엄청났어요.
짐이 영어 이렇게 도와주신 것도 있나요?
짐은 그 영국 런던 액센트를 저한테 많이 가르쳐줬어요.
I made it worse. I mean, she had a dialect coach who was teaching her how to speak, proper English, and then I would teach her how to speak with a London accent. So a lazy way to speak English. So yeah, we don't say bottle of water, we say bottle of water. So her dialect coach didn't like me at all.
She didn't like.
Lana and Andy Warshawski directed Matrix, as well as Rain's first Hollywood debut production, Ninja Assassin, and Tom Tykwer directed Perfume. Along with these top directors, handsome Hollywood actor Jim Sturgis and others visited Korea for the first time, and they couldn't hide their delight in the magnificence of Seoul. Peduna appeared in a black dress with flamboyant flower prints on it, and she created a seductive atmosphere with her solemn expression and chic fashion style.
In the whole movie? Oh, God. That I'm in, or just any scene in the whole movie? I mean, it was great to watch the film and see what other people were doing in the film, because I mean there was loads of stuff that I didn't get to see, So one word to describe the movie.
5 syllables.
Ambitious.
Ambitious.
That's my word. What's your word?
최고 기대작.
The genius directors, Hollywood's top actors, and Peduna, who plays 3 different roles, created the movie Cloud Atlas. A budget of $140 million was used in this large-scale production, and it offers amazing video of the audience and a shocking twist in the ending credits.
네, 저희 클라우드 아틀라스가 내년 1월 10일 한국에서 개봉합니다. 여러분들 기대 많이 해주세요. 그리고 사랑해주세요. 감사합니다.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, Cloud Atlas is in the spotlight all the more because it is produced by the famous directors Andy Warshawski and Lana Warshawski, who created Matrix series. And I was just so proud to see actress Peduna sitting alongside top-notch Hollywood actors.
It's quite amazing, and of course she's playing a huge role in this movie. She's playing a clone person, Sunmi451, and she caused a huge sensation, shocked many people also with her total nudity and also her perfect English English pronunciation.
Oh, the accent. She pulled it off great. Okay,
Good job.
This movie goes back and forth between 500 years of period. It's going to be a little bit complicated, but we'll be looking forward to it.
And I'll be looking forward to her British English pronunciation.
Okay.
All right, good luck to Peduna. Let's continue on with the program, everyone. This time, we're going to take you to airports. Why? Because these days, many star couples are going on honeymoons. Now, we will meet up with Haha and Pyeol and check out their style. And also, a few months ago, SES Eugene and Ki Tae-young got married, and they also went on a honeymoon. Fashion airport honeymoon style. Take a look.
Haha and Pyeol got married with many people's blessings, and they were back after their honeymoon. The couples dressed in the same black hoodies with sunglasses and caps.
하하 씨 신혼여행 잘 다녀오셨어요?
네.
어떠셨어요?